Here are 10 absolutely banging anime that have no bad episodes and are the perfect shows for people who aren't impressed with what's airing or have just been on a bit of a burnout. Worry not, because we won't be going into spoiler-heavy details, so without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. A Place Further Than the Universe. Mary Tamaki has always been curious about the world around her and has always wondered about what's out there, but deep down, she's been held back by her worries that she might not be able to handle it. Now that she's in her second year of high school, she's determined not to waste any more time, but that fear is still stopping her from taking any big steps. That is, until she meets a girl, Shiris Kobuchizawa, who's been saving up money to go to Antarctica ever since her mom disappeared and is determined to find her. When Mary sees how determined Shiris is, she decides to join her. Pretty soon, they catch the attention of Hinata Miyake, who's always looking for excitement, and Yuzuki Shiraishi, a girl from a rich family, and together, they all head off on a journey to the freezing south, to a place even further than the universe. This will probably survive a lot of people because, judging from the title, A Place Further Than the Universe might sound like a cliché story set in a fantasy setting with some by-the-book characters, but that turned out to not be the case at all. In an age of massively popular shonen anime with crazy fight scenes essentially becoming the most popular shows of the season, wholesome slice-of-life shows need to do something different, something fresh to be able to actually be recognized, which is why you appreciate A Place Further Than the Universe just that much more. It's not the staple cute girls doing cute things anymore. It's a show that entertains you, enthralls you, inspires you, and leaves a huge smile on your face when you're done watching an episode. There's always that feeling of wanting to go out and do something more, live your life a bit more, do what you've wanted to, be free. A Place Further Than the Universe shows you what you can do if you obey that buried down will of yours. Every character is charming, every episode is a delight, and it's a fun, fulfilling journey that satisfies you from within. Number 9. Sharabeko. It all started back in high school when 5 best friends, Aoi Miyamori, Ima Yasuhara, Midori Amai, Shizuka Sakaki, and Misa Tudo, realized they all loved anime and decided to start a club about it. They made their first small anime and showed it off at the school festival. Then they made a big promise to each other. They'd all work in the anime industry one day and even make their own hit show together. Fast forward 2.5 years, Aoi and Ima managed to get jobs at a large animation studio called Musashino Animation, but the other 3 friends are having a tough time getting their dream jobs. Shizuka feels like nobody notices how good she is at voice acting, Misa's stuck doing 3D modeling for cars, and Midori's still in college, aiming to be a writer. Through all the ups and downs, these friends will learn that reaching your goals can take a lot of time, but if you stick with it and get a little creative, you can still make your dreams come true. One might not expect an anime about, well, animation to be the most entertaining show of all time, but this is different. Unlike the 20-minute documentaries you might see on a cable channel, this is a brutal, unfiltered look at what the colossal industry really is like. How you might not be as good as you think you are. How you might not get recognized for the talent you do have. How the dreams you were looking at through rose-tinted glasses might not be all that you think at the end. These 4 friends following their dreams of becoming a part of the anime industry is sad, exciting, and downright brutal at times with how realistically all the painstaking details are shown. How a single frame is drawn, how much work goes into presenting the beautiful final product you see on your screens, how much work has to be done in order to make sure its potential gets fully realized. Done drawing a detailed, beautiful-looking frame? Great, now do that 10 more times. Regardless of what happens for these 4 friends, you're sure to have a fun, informative time throughout. Number 8. Cowboy Bebop. Crime never seems to disappear. By the year 2071, humans have traveled across the galaxy, inhabiting communities on other planets just like they did on Earth. But wherever people go, murder, drugs, and theft are still major issues, and there's a growing number of powerful bounty hunters out there trying to catch these evildoers. Spike Spiegel and Jet Black are 2 of those bounty hunters, chasing criminals through space to make a living. Spike might come off as carefree and silly, but he's actually haunted by a violent past, while Jet's dealing with his own problems while also taking care of Spike and their ship, the Bebop. They're joined by Faye Valentine, a smooth-talking con artist, a quirky kid named Edward Wong, Hao Pepelu, Tavruski IV, and Ian, a super-smart corgi. As they form friendships and go after a bunch of colorful criminals, the Bebop crew's lives get shaken up by a threat from Spike's past. With an old enemy causing trouble, Spike has to decide whether to stick with his new crew or go after revenge for the things that happened to him before. What do you get when you combine jazz with the work of a highly talented staff? Cowboy Bebop telling a detailed story that knows when to take its time and let the narrative breathe, as well as when to hit the audience hard with mind-blowing reveals and plot points. Cowboy Bebop is popularly known as highly acclaimed director Shinichiro Watanabe's magnum opus, The entire cast of characters is a delight to watch, the story is amazing, and just every aspect of it is consistently great. If you want to revisit some old classics and are burnt out on the new generation of shows, Cowboy Bebop is a must-watch check. Oh, also it's got freaking jazz in it, incorporated beautifully into every scene with its amazing, buttery smooth animation, great voice acting, and lovable cast of characters. It's accurate to say that the VIBEs are immaculate. Number 7. Angel Beats. Death has always been a big mystery for humans, something we've wondered about forever. But for 17-year-old Yuzuru Otonashi, the question of what happens after you die gets answered pretty quickly. He wakes up in a very weird place, kind of like a school but not quite, where he learns the truth about what happens after someone finally dies. This strange school is where people end up if they died in a bad way and feel like they didn't want to die. They're led by the student council president named Angel, who seems like she's got all the power. But Yuzuru gets recruited by a rebel group called the Afterlife Battlefront, led by a girl named Yuri Nakamura, who are fighting against Angel, trying to take control of their own lives. Yuzuru joins in, but he starts to wonder if they're doing the right thing and decides to step back and try to understand things from opposite point of view. Some of you might not even know of this anime because of how under the radar it went, but Angel Beats is truly a fantastic show for a bunch of reasons. The overall idea and setting in which the characters are stuck in a kind of afterlife and are essentially fighting against their fate manages to keep you hooked from the get-go. It tackles deep stuff like life and death in a way that really hits hard when it wants to. Each character has their own backstory and different personality that you can really connect with. Even though it deals with many serious themes and concepts, the show knows when to lighten the mood with some humor, and let's not forget how charming the animation is and how the great music adds to the whole experience. Overall, Angel Beats is special because of its unique concepts, touching story, genuinely great characters, looks amazing, sounds awesome, and the way it effortlessly mixes serious and lighthearted moments so well. With all these amazing praises under its belt, it'd be an understatement to say that you should definitely check it out if you haven't already. Number 6. Area the Origination. In the 24th century on the planet Aqua, 3 girls, Akari Mizunashi, Alice Carroll, and Eika S. Grandchesta, are aspiring towards becoming professional tour guides and are aiming to reach the top level called Prima Undines. Luckily, they're getting help from the best tour guides in Neo-Venezia, Alicia Florence, Athena Glory, and Akira E. Ferrari, who are known as the Water Fairies because of their level of skill. With their guidance, these young girls are training hard and dealing with whatever comes their way. The show is genuinely amazing for a bunch of reasons. First off, it creates this beautiful world of Neo-Venezia that sucks you right in with its stunning visuals and relaxing music. The characters, especially Akari Mizunashi, grow and evolve throughout the series, which makes you really care about and what happens to them. It's all about friendship, never giving up, and enjoying the little things in life, so even though it may seem like just a bunch of separate stories at first, it all comes together in the end for a really satisfying conclusion. Plus, it makes you actually think about some deep stuff while also hitting you right in the feels. The show isn't just great because of its pretty animation and heartfelt messages. It's also really uplifting. Seeing Akari and her friends tackle problems with a positive attitude makes you want to do the same in your own life. And there are so many moments, scenes that make you smile ear to ear, like as the show proves that it's all about finding joy in life and appreciating what you have, because this is a show that reminds you to stay positive and keep moving forward, no matter what. Number 5. The Tatami Galaxy. One evening in autumn, behind the Shimogamo Shrine, a college student runs into a strange man with an eggplant-shaped head who claims he's a god of marriage. This meeting makes the student think about his past 2 years at college, which he spent trying to split up couples on campus with his only creepy friend Ozu. Feeling like he wasted his time, he decides to try and make the most of the rest of his college life. He wants to ask out Akashi, a nice but shy underclassman, but can't do it at the end and regrets it afterward. Suddenly, he's thrown back in time to the start of college, getting a chance to do things differently. The Tatami Galaxy is all about this guy's wild journey to make friends, find love, and have the awesome college experience he always wanted. The series is explored through an unnamed protagonist, Senpai, who aspires towards reaching the rose-colored college life he's always dreamed of. Every episode till episode 10 showcases a different situation in which Senpai joins a different club to change his life, but it never works out at the end and time keeps resetting. The last 2 episodes are some of the most thought-provoking and deep episodes you can find in anime. The show is headed by legendary director Masaki Yuasa, who uses a totally unique style for the characters and brilliantly directs each and every episode with its vibrant colors, simple designs, and amazing storyboarding. The main and supporting cast is brilliantly built up in every episode, with Higuchi, Hanuki, and Jobisaki being the main standouts. Every character genuinely feels real with their unique stories, behaviors, and obsessions, providing for a wildly fun time, and the ending leaves you fully satisfied, making you reflect on your own life and whether or not a perfect, rose-colored life is actually possible. Number 4. One Punch Man. Saitama might seem like an average guy, but in reality, he's the strongest superhero alive. He spent 3 years training really hard to make his childhood dream come true, and now he's so strong that he can beat any enemy he comes across with just one punch. But the catch is that he's so strong that it's become really boring for him since he now misses the thrill of a tough battle. One day, a young cyborg named Genos sees how strong Saitama is and wants to be his student. Genos suggests they join the official hero association to become recognized as official heroes for all the work they do. Saitama is surprised that nobody knows who he is, so he agrees, and as they meet new friends and take on new and stronger enemies, Saitama hopes to find that excitement he's been missing for so long by being a part of the hero association. At a time when we're getting so many mediocre shows with overpowered main characters, a lot of people might just be bored out by how similar they're all starting to seem, but One Punch Man does many things different and manages to stand out from the crowd even after 9 years since it first released. It flips the superhero tropes on its head by giving us Saitama, who could take out any opponent he's facing with just one punch. This straight-out resolution to every fight always keeps it funny and keeps you guessing how the battle will end this time, whether Saitama will actually take it seriously or just quickly wrap it over so that he can go avail a sale in a supermarket. Plus, did I mention that the animation is heavy. With probably the most talented action animators a single anime has ever seen, One Punch Man absolutely knocks it out of the park in the visual department. The characters are all unique and interesting, from Saitama himself to the villains and other heroes he meets, looking at you Tatsumaki. And underneath all the action, the show explores deep stuff about what it means to be a hero and find your place in the world through scenes like the emotional beating Mumen Rider suffers, which teaches the message of not giving up and standing up to what you think is wrong. Overall, One Punch Man is a must-watch for anyone who loves a good story, awesome fights, and some food for thought thrown in, and to be frank, most of you should have already watched it if you're proper weebs. Number 3. Jujutsu Kaisen. High school student Yuji Itadori spends his days hanging out with the occult club or visiting his sick grandpa in the hospital, but things take a dark turn when he accidentally swallows a cursed object, a figure that belonged to the powerful demon in history named Sukuna Ryumen. Suddenly, Yuji gains the ability to wield cursed energy as a weapon and gets dragged into the world of curses, dark monsters born from negative human emotions. Now he's enrolled in Tokyo Prefectural Jujutsu High School, where he learns how to be a jujutsu sorcerer and deal with all the dangers that come with it. Ah yes, nothing better to get into the top 3 within the hottest new-gen anime and manga. It genuinely feels like Jujutsu Kaisen has transcended the boundaries of the anime community and has basically become a part of pop culture itself, and for good reason. Obviously, the biggest controversy around the show was how overworked and rushed the production was for the second season that recently finished airing, but despite all that, don't let this stuff take anything away from the show, because it's an amazing show. The story revolves around a dark world filled with curses and jujutsu sorcerers that fight against said beings, but one of the biggest praises it gets as a shonen show is just how different it feels from the standard shows with plot armor heavier than anything you've ever lifted. In the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, if an opponent is actually stronger than you, then chances are you're probably going to die. The show pulls absolutely no punches when it comes to its plot and is utterly devoid of the power of friendship and never giving up BS that's become so common in the genre these days. Besides the brutal storytelling, the characters genuinely feel like they have depth to them, rather than obviously looking like cardboard cutouts of another famous show you watched. The world building is crucial for a story like this to succeed, and it wonderfully works with all the characters' charm and personalities, letting you take a step back and breathe at times and ruthlessly catapulting you with fight after fight after fight. Speaking of, the animation is absolutely wild, and the second season of the show has only solidified that. A lot of shows have amazing animation, but what Jujutsu Kaisen does to stand out even now is the variety of different types of fights, from swift, brilliantly choreographed hand-to-hand combat to mass destruction, while two entities battle it out. This is a show that I doubt anyone hasn't watched yet, but if you are one of the poor souls that hasn't, then you should definitely give it a try, because there's no way in hell you'd be actually disappointed. Number 2. Ping Pong the Animation. Makoto Smiled, Tsukamoto, and Yutaka Piko Hoshino have been best friends since they were kids, even though they're total opposites. Piko's really confident and wants to be the best at ping pong, but he isn't very fond of practicing, which annoys his teammates at Kate's high school. Meanwhile, Smile's really good at ping pong, but he holds back when he plays against others. Even with their differences, they've bonded over their love for the game. When Peko hears about a famous player from China coming to Japan, he drags Smile to check it out at Sujido High School. But things don't go well when Peko gets totally beaten by Kong Wenj, leaving him wondering why he even plays ping pong. Seeing Smile's talent, Hectace's coach starts training him to get over his hesitation, but Smile's not interested if it's not fun. As they both try to figure out what ping pong means to them, they face tough competition at the Inter-High tournament. But as they push themselves to be the best, they learn that chasing glory isn't always easy and comes with its own set of challenges and sacrifices. This is also directed by Masaki Yuasa and is widely regarded as his most profound and thought-provoking work. Judging from the synopsis, it becomes very clear that it isn't like common by-the-book sports anime, which is very true because Ping Pong the animation is a human drama that only utilizes the setting of sports to convey its message. It's a brutally honest, gorgeously animated show that doesn't shy away from showing an unfiltered look at how life is and how a person can sometimes be thrown into situations that completely corner and break them. Number 1. Mushishi. In a nutshell, mushi are the most basic forms of life in the world. They don't have any specific goals or purposes besides just existing. They're not good or evil, and they can take on all sorts of shapes like plants, diseases, or even things like rainbows. But here's the thing, not many people know about them, so there's not a lot of information out there, which is where individuals like Jinko come in. He's a mushishi, someone who studies mushi to figure out what they're all about. Jinko spends his time chasing down rumors and events that might be connected to mushi, hoping to find some answers. And who knows? Maybe understanding them could help him figure out the meaning of life itself. The show is praised so much due to its distinctive storytelling, captivating viewers with standalone episodes that delve into profound themes of life, death, nature, and human emotions. Its beautiful animation style really captures the world of the mushi and the peaceful landscapes they live in, drawing audiences into a visually stunning journey. This is further added to by a calm and peaceful soundtrack, the series which amazingly enhances the mood and atmosphere of each episode. On top of all this, Mushishi offers deep and thought-provoking narratives, exploring themes of the cycle of existence and the delicate balance between humanity and nature. Through its absolutely beautiful storytelling and deep narratives, the show delivers a truly brilliant and unforgettable anime experience that leaves a lasting impact on its audience. Well, that was it. These were the best of the best, the cream of the crop kind of shows, and I highly recommend you to try them all. If you enjoyed the video, then make sure to subscribe and comment if there's any series you'd like to add to this list, because I'll see you all next time.